global common language to communicate those impacts, which is the GRI standards as we know them now. The standards help any business, so irrespective of sector, size, or geographic location, to communicate their sustainability impacts and providing highly relevant insights for different stakeholders, including investors, which can inform decision-making as well as improve environmental, social, and financial outcomes. We are a not-for-profit organization, so that means we are not tied to any one majority interest or funder. This then enables us to work independently in the development of the GRI standards. This just provides a timeline of the work that we've done over the past 25 years since our establishment. The first version of the GRI guidelines was issued in the year 2000, and thereafter we've been updating the guidelines, and in 2016 we launched what is now called the GRI standards. We review the standards to make sure that they are current and they are fit for purpose. In 2021, we issued what we call now the revised universal standards, which incorporate elements of human rights and due diligence. Our impact as an organization, we have had quite a journey over the last 25 years. We have thousands of reporters in more than 100 countries that use the GRI standards, and with the support of our reporters, stakeholders, and inputs from the technical experts that help us in developing the standards, we see a growth in the use of the standards. They are referenced in 248 policies in over 80 countries. Over 40 stock exchanges have reporting policies that refer to the GRI standards. As the Africa Network Office of the GRI, we've been working very closely with the African Securities Exchanges Association in Africa to see how we can support exchanges from our region to develop ESG disclosure guidance for listed companies. So we have supported Ghana Stock Exchange, Nigeria Exchange Group, the Nairobi Securities Exchange, Eswatini Stock Exchange, and we are now completing work with the Rwanda Stock Exchange. And our most significant impact really has been that 78% of the world's 250 largest global companies report voluntarily using the GRI standards. And these numbers basically prove that there's broader interest in sustainability issues, and that sustainability reporting continues to accelerate globally and also in the region. International footprint, our head office based in Amsterdam, and we have 7 regional offices globally that are strategically located to advance sustainability reporting in the GRI standards. So we have an Africa office based in Johannesburg, and we cover key markets, primarily Nigeria, Ghana, Mauritius, and Kenya, and the rest of the region as and when we get requests for support. As the Africa office, we really look at deepening accountability for impacts by all types of businesses and organizations. We also look at promoting an enabling environment where we work with different policy actors. And then we also look at increasing the use of corporate sustainability disclosure by stakeholders such as investors, civil society, academia, media. So we've been doing a lot of work with different data users that use the data from the reports. And now, in terms of the GRI standards, the purpose is quite simple for the standards. It's to enable businesses to report on their impacts on the environment, economy, and society, with the overall aim to contribute towards sustainable development. The standards are developed through a multi-stakeholder effort, which is really our DNA as an organization. A multi-stakeholder effort is how we work. So our network extends across geographies, stakeholder groups, and sustainability themes. So we have identified constituency groups that we work with in the development of the GRI standards, and those are the groups there. How it works is we put out calls for people to join our project working groups for the different standards that we develop, and we also look at having public comment periods where we invite inputs from different stakeholders to gather feedback on the draft standards from a global audience. And the standards themselves are developed and issued by what we call the Global Sustainability Standards Board, the GSSB, which is GRI's independent standard setting body. This is basically the system of the standards. For those of you that are not familiar with them, they are a modular system comprising of 3 series of standards. We have the universal standards, and those you can identify with the green cover. We have what we call the sector standards, as well as the topic standards. I must mention that these standards are free public goods, so anyone can go onto our website and download them to use them for their reporting, to use them for their research. They are available, as well as many other resources that we develop as an organization. Just to zoom in terms of the universal standards, this is the starting point for anyone looking to understand the structure of the standards, what concepts we include, what are the key reporting principles, how to report in accordance with the GRI standards. This would be your starting point, the universal standards, and they consist of what we call GRI 1, Foundation 2021, and the year basically just indicates when the standards were published. And then GRI 2, general disclosures. This is disclosures about the reporting organization, from strategy to the governance of the organization, right through to how the organization engages with its stakeholders, its employment practices. This would be included under general disclosures. GRI 3, material topics. That includes guidance on how an organization can go about identifying its material topics. And if you've engaged with our standards, material topic is a very big concept that we use, because the idea is for organizations to report on what is material for their business. The sector standards, these are pretty much new to the GRI family. They were launched in 2021, and they were included to increase quality, completeness, and consistency of reporting in different sectors. So essentially what the sector standards do is to provide the topics that are likely to be material for a company operating within a specific sector. And what we're trying to do with the sector standards is really to address the issues of comparability of data for companies within sectors. There are a number of sectors that we're developing standards for. We've identified 40 sectors that we develop standards for. We've completed the first 3, which are oil and gas. They can be categorized into 4 main categories. There's the standards, frameworks, there's the indices, rankings or ratings, and certification. I'd just like to highlight that for most companies, they use the GRI as the sustainability reporting anchor, and as an organization, we really look at impact. So impact materiality, looking at what is the impact of the organization's activities on the economy, on the environment, on society. So for the GRI, it really is about an insight in how the company impacts on the world it operates on. And then we have the ISSB that has now issued the standards that really look at the outside in, what are the sustainability related risks and opportunities, and essentially for an investor audience and for the GRI standards meeting the needs of all stakeholders. This then leads to the global baseline of a 2-pillar reporting system, where we look at strength and financial reporting and impact reporting that is being championed by the GRI and the ISSB, bringing in the pillar 1. This is then what is called double materiality, and looking at how we can then bring these 2 together. So with that said, the GRI and the ISSB signed an MOU looking at how we can collaborate to develop joint resources on how to use the standards together, including technical mapping. So now that the standards, the ISSB standards have been launched, with the 2 organizations will be working together closely to see how we can develop resources that can be used by different reporting organizations as well as investors. So more to come soon. Thank you.
Are there any questions?
questions for Tendai?
Thank you. Thank you, Tendai, for the presentation. My name is Matika.
I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay. My name is Matika. I'm the managing director of a company called Circular Climate Solutions.